Here at Chat Sports, we are doing a like challenge throughout the month of June. So help the Broncos Breakdown be the #1 channel. And an easy way to do that is, who doesn't like the idea of Peyton Manning being a minority owner or having some sort of role with the new regime? Hit that thumbs up icon if that's something you'd like. Today's Broncos Breakdown is presented to you by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety company that is giving Broncos Country a 14-day free trial when you go to aura.com/chatsports. Links in the comments and the description. I'll tell you more about their awesome services later on. But let's get into the Broncos Breakdown here by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson. And we've got some interesting rumors out there surrounding our friend the Sheriff, Peyton Manning, and a potential coming home, right, or coming back to Mile High in a minority ownership role. This has been in the works, sort of, for a little bit now, because all four of the major contenders, the bidders to be the next owner, all reached out to Peyton Manning to gauge his interest, to see how he would feel about maybe coming back and being a consultant or having some sort of role with the organization. So, Adam Schefter this morning tweeted this out. The Walton-Penner Broncos ownership group has had conversations with Peyton Manning about an advisory role in the organization that eventually could mean being a part of the ownership group and having equity in the franchise, per sources. Yes, yes, yes. And I mean, how many times do I have to say yes to just the idea of Peyton Manning having some sort of role within this organization? You know what I mean? There is just no other way around it. I would love to have Peyton back in Mile High because he is one of the brightest minds in all of football. I think he is going to be either an owner or a commissioner or the commissioner or some sort of high role. He is not just going to hang out and chill in the booth forever because he has been rather busy since retiring. He was the Broncos intern. We all know, we all get the laughs from the social media team. He also was doing some stuff with ESPN, right? Peyton Places and The Detail. I never really watched The Detail, but Peyton Places was awesome to watch. And then last year, him and Eli, who I feel like Eli, a quarter of the way through Monday Night Football, was just like, I regret this so much, so I'm just start flicking off the camera. But he was in the Monday Night Football Manning booth, which it's tough to beat Steve Levy. He's one of my favorite comedians. But, yeah, the Manning booth was really fun to watch. So, Peyton, by the way, was rumored to be interested in that Panthers David Tepper sale that took place a couple of years ago. It was right out of his retirement, and probably a little too soon for him to just jump from playing football to being a minority owner in a team he never has, he's had no connection with, right? So, now, Peyton Manning himself, a while ago, when asked about whether or not he'd want to be a minority owner, here's what he said. People are obviously interested. They're curious. I care because I live here and I go to the games and I want to know what's going to happen like everyone else. But I have no relationship or agreement with anybody. So Peyton Manning, keeping it aloof when asked about this a while ago. We're not really sure maybe how he feels today. But I'm guessing he does not want to sit on the couch for Monday Night Football anymore. He wants to graduate, right? He wants to have an advisory role, a consulting role, some kind of role with the Broncos, which, let's be honest, the last time a star quarterback did that didn't really work out as well as we all would have hoped. But while we're talking about John Elway and Peyton Manning, let's bring back an old game. Better quarterback. I think this is usually a test of how old you are because fans who were watching during the 90s and whatnot for the Super Bowl runs by Elway are going to go with 7, but maybe someone closer to my age is going to go with 18. Let me know which was the better quarterback, John Elway or Peyton Manning. We'll get to more rumors in just a moment, but today's proud sponsor, Aura, is helping you out because you do more online than ever. So, right before we started filming, another Chat Sports colleague, Mitchell Renz, was talking about Aura, and he brought up a great point that I think I should share with you guys. If you've ever shared your password for Netflix, for example, with anyone, chances are you've got that same Netflix password for every other account you can use. And if that has a data leak, and all of a sudden your password that covers all your bases is out there for the hacksters, you're screwed. But Aura, no, they keep you safe. Start today. Get a free trial, aura.com/chatsports. You don't leave your front door wide open when you go to work in the morning, right? Don't do that online, okay? Let Aura protect you in a day and age where we are online more than ever, and our information is more vulnerable than ever before. Also, we got a fun new kind of segment I'm going to introduce at the end of the show, and Ask Me Anything, AMA. We can talk about the Broncos. We can talk about Will Ferrell quotes. Whatever you want to talk about, let me know. Stay tuned for that later on in the show. But help us reach our next milestone. We are currently at 8,149 subs. Want to get to 8,200. That's the next one right there. 51 away. Be the lucky subscriber that pushes us across by getting free daily Broncos content. Final segment of the show is a new stadium in the works. It isn't rocket science, right? I mean, when someone buys an NFL team and becomes the richest owner in NFL history, don't you think they want to, pimp out their new crib? So Andrew Mason on Twitter had a very interesting tweet yesterday that I think is very true. He said, just me spitballing, but I reckon the Walton-Penner Hobson Group didn't fork over $4.65 billion to play in a stadium that is mid-tier in terms of amenities and wow factor, especially when a Cousins team plays in its privately funded showplace with all the bells and whistles. So the second half there, he is referring to SoFi Stadium because Rob Walton has a relation to Stan Kroenke, the families. It's not Game of Thrones kind of marriage, but there's some kind of connecting right there. It's a daughter-in-law. I can't remember the family tree exactly. But let's just ask this question right off the top. Do you want a new stadium? We're going to talk about this in more depth. We're going to look at some other stadiums and whatnot. But just right off the bat, is that something you are interested in? Y for yes or N for no? F it, right? Build a new stadium. I was kind of so-so on it. I talked about this on yesterday's show, and I was like, you know what? It's not a bad stadium. It's only 20 years old. The guy's got $80 billion almost, now he's got $76 billion. He just paid $4.5 billion. Hanging out in his bank account. Why don't toss an extra billion or two on top of that and get a new stadium? Because there's kind of an arms race among NFL owners to get the new cool stadium. I mean, look at the 5 most recent stadiums built. They are all awesome. Allegiant and SoFi are revolutionary. SoFi especially. Mercedes-Benz kind of got cucked by SoFi and Allegiant because it's super cool. It's just not the newest anymore. US Bank Stadium, we got a new guy here at Chat Sports, Patrick Seatman. He's a Vikings guy, and he says it's good, but it doesn't even stack up to these new ones. And then Levi Stadium, I didn't even realize it's been 8 years now, but I guess it has. RIP Candlestick. But you could maybe see Rob Walton wanting to, be the big you-know-what in the locker room and have the newest and the granddaddy of them all. Let's get some notes on Empower Field, though. The stadium opened up in 2001 after the removal of Old Mile High, right, the parking lot now. And in 2012, they went under a $30 million renovation, cleaning some stuff up and adding a new LED HD video board. And once again, Walton is the richest owner in the NFL. I think it's also worth reminding everyone that Rob Walton is 77 years old. Not many 77-year-olds buy NFL teams. This is clearly something that's going to be a part of the Walmart family for years to come, right? You see, I'm not the Grim Reaper, but we can all, see where this goes, and that this is going to be a family fortune. This is going to be something that's passed down from generation to generation. I say all this because I'm guessing Rob Walton is going to be thinking ahead for his family, and he knows, hey, why don't we have an awesome stadium, right? Why inherit a 20-year-old stadium that, like Andrew said, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. You know what I mean? Could there be improvements made? Yeah. I wonder if Rob Walton will go, oh, you had a fire there? Well, yeah, it only knocked out like one section. No. Just tear the whole thing down. Like, no, Rob, really, the whole thing's fine. Like, it's a little bit, but we fixed all that. Let's just tear it down from scratch and start over. So I could maybe see Rob Walton going, yeah, I didn't just spend nearly $5 billion to have the 14th best stadium. I want the number 1 stadium. Okay, guys. So this is something that we're introducing. We're in June. And I just want to give a shout out to anyone watching right now. Meaning, literally, if you clicked on the show at all, and if you've gotten this far in the show, you're a real Broncos fan because you're keeping up with the team in the dog days of the offseason. So, ask me anything. Use hashtag AMA. Ask me anything about the Broncos, favorites Will Ferrell quotes. I've got more to me than just that. But whatever you want to know, I'll be an open book. Use hashtag AMA in the comments section, and we'll go back and forth talking about whatever it is. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. That way you stay in the know. But, hey, if you're watching this far, you are a real one. You are a part of the Broncos Breakdown squad. Appreciate everyone that watches all the way through. Hit that big red button. Subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the latest Broncos news and rumors.